Can this move?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Happy Thursday.
Friday Junior.
I just can't even believe it's Thursday already.
Why? Feels like a long week, no?
Not to me. To me, it feels like a Monday.
Feels like a long year. Actually, not really, because it's July. I don't even know what happened this year.
You sound like you just woke up.
I think I did.
Yeah, I can't really hear you.
Okay, I'm here.
Good evening, Karen. Happy Thursday, happy Friday Junior to you. How are you? How are you doing this evening?
Evening, Bill. 324 fines. It's almost end of the day.
Yep, and did you know that I believe you and Tori closed escrow today, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh.
So cheers to you and Tori. I think you're going to be celebrating with champagne, if I saw correctly, tomorrow. How exciting to get a brand new home and get to make it your own. That is super duper exciting. Are we on the right? Okay,
yeah, we are.
On the right account. Okay. Six Creative Concepts says, "Hi, beauty queens, LOL."
Good evening.
Hi, Karen. It's so great to see you. How are you doing? How you been feeling lately? And 324 Fine said, "Hi, ladies. Fabulous fashion for you. Happy Thursday and good evening to you. I can't believe the weekend is almost here."
How are your days going, everyone? It was a little slow for me. I don't know. I got really tired today.
Michelle is so funny. Okay, so before we get started on our really cool, wonderful live this evening, which we, again, thank you for joining. And we do want you to please participate in the comment section so we could all, be a part of, learning and growing together. But it's so funny. So mid-afternoon, Michelle asked me if I can make her a milkshake. So I come into the room and she's working in the office, and I bring her this large, rich chocolate, coconut, mint, and chip milkshake. Guess what happened 10 minutes after that, if you can guess? She passed out.
With the dog next to me.
She passed out. All right, so fabulous fashion for you said slow and steady. Nice to hear that. Very good. So let's get into negotiating. Let's get into negotiating like a boss.
So the reason why we want to talk about negotiating is because I noticed Marina is an excellent negotiator, and I've never learned these skills before. So she's very good at closing deals. She's very good at getting good deals. So I would love for Marina to share her knowledge with everyone.
I mean, we all have the knowledge. It's not just, thanks, Michelle. I appreciate that. But we all have this knowledge. But I'm happy to share any golden nuggets that I might be able to offer you guys. Bill from 324 Fine says, melting in the heat. Sales pretty consistent. Washington taking step back to dipsticks, not wearing masks. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's so disappointing, because it's it's just sad, because people are getting sick and it's horrible. We obviously don't want to get sick. I have a lot of lung issues, so I really don't want to get sick. I'm deathly afraid of this virus. We do our part to wear a mask and everything to protect others as well. So
yeah, it's a bummer.
Sorry to hear that. It's so funny because, not to get too much off topic, but I saw an update I'm a teacher. I work at a community college that California governor, they've donated millions of dollars to buy supplies like N95 mask, $100 million, and $300 million to surgical masks, which it doesn't make me excited because it makes me think oh no, I'm going to have to go back to work during a pandemic, and it freaks me out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started with, so those of you who have jobs, outside of reselling, are you guys working from home, or do you need to show up every day at work during the pandemic? Okay, so we're going to get started with the first one.
So we're going to talk about negotiating as a buyer. So basically, if you go sourcing, you want to negotiate and get a good deal. To resell, what do you do? Yeah,
so this doesn't apply if you obviously go to thrift stores and stuff like that where prices are set. But we're going to discuss how to negotiate when you are buying things from Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, online even with other sellers, Mercari, Poshmark, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, when do you negotiate? Like, when do you decide that, okay, I'm going to negotiate on this deal here?
Yeah. And I was asking, basically, in my head, when you say, when do you negotiate, do you always negotiate?
Oh, that's a good question. And the quick short answer is that I tend to negotiate about 90% of the time. And so, yeah, sometimes if I see a really good deal and I don't want to lose the sale. Now again, this is like, I don't want to miss out on purchasing the item for our inventory. I will just say, I want to buy this, and I don't negotiate. So that does happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me retract. Maybe 10 to 15% of the time. And those are the times I don't negotiate, when the item is a good item. I know I'm going to get a good profit from it. It's worth my time to pick up, and the pricing is just so low, that I'm okay with paying that amount. So I don't always lowball. I'm not like trying to get things for free. I want to give money to the person that's selling the item, and I want to keep the integrity there. Like, I'm not trying to be shysty or anything like that. But I want there to be like a comfortable spot for both of us. Okay, so when do you negotiate? Well, if the item is, $20 or below, and I'm going to profit about 100 or more, 80 or more, sometimes I don't negotiate. But if the item costs twice as much, like about $40 for an item, I'm going to profit 80 to 100, then I will offer, about $30 maybe for it. I rarely go in at halfway. I will usually offer about $30. We do have a question here. And 324 Fine said, the Washington governor in Seattle just shut down the in-person teaching for the 2021 year. And that's so amazing. Your governor has been doing such a good job in Washington, in my opinion. And 324 Fine says, if you don't ask, then you won't get it. Always negotiate a price unless it's worth it. Yeah, and we're on the same page about that.
Yeah, sometimes when you do negotiate, but sometimes if it's like a really, really, really good deal, like they're giving away for free, and you negotiate, sometimes they don't respond because they get offended. You've encountered that before too, right?
Yeah, and even if it's not a good deal, and we know it as professional buyers, they still get offended sometimes when you don't meet their demands, but that's okay. That's just like part of it.
It is part of it. So let's see. When do you not negotiate? So we talk about that. All right. So how do you handle firm sellers?
Yeah. So, when do you not negotiate?
Did you talk about that?
Yeah. When do you not negotiate? When do you guys not negotiate? Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you handle firm sellers? Yeah, it's a good question. How do you guys handle firm sellers? Good morning, good evening, Gen X rummaging. Happy Thursday to you. So a firm seller, there's a couple ways that I will handle them. First of all, it's really easy. You just ask yourself, am I going to pay that amount or not? And if you're not, then you just don't even go there. But a way to handle the firm sellers is, another way is, if, I might try to bundle, like if they have more items that they're selling, I might try to, usually if you buy more than one item, they will give you a discount, usually. And so I might try it that way, but it's really difficult for us, to get a lower amount on a firm seller. Yeah. I don't know about you guys. What about you guys? What has been your experience on firm sellers?
I usually give in if we think we'll make enough money from the item.
Yeah, because they already said firm, so you want to respect their notes and their requests, right?
Yeah. All right. So when you source items or when you buy from a seller, how do you win when competing with other buyers? So obviously, when an item's listed and it's an amazing deal, I'm sure a lot of people will start contacting the seller. How do you compete with the other buyers?
Yeah, the best way is to be the first one to reach out to them, and not only be the first one, but say, okay, I'm going to go get the item right now. So one of the best ways to source is when you actually have free time to just get out of your chair and go pick up the item right away. So that's how I would win. Yeah.
So
how about you guys? Do you have any tips on winning?
So close the deal immediately.
Yeah. Close the deal immediately. That's right. Okay, very good.
All right. So Marina has come up with a couple of strategies on how to close deals and get good deals. Let's talk about it. Number 1, bundling items. What does that mean? Yeah,
we talked about that. So one really good way, like this is what we do when we are when we're sourcing. You know, don't mind our dog playing with her little squeaky toy in the background. But one of the things that we do is I find an item that's well priced, and then I will go into that person's store and shop around. And I will try to see if I can find other items. Because usually like if they have one item that's well priced and in good condition, and they're selling other items, then, you know, naturally they're going to have other items that are well priced, right?
Yeah.
So I'll go in, I'll shop around, and if I find anything else, then I will offer, you know, a set price on all the items, and they will almost always give you a discount.
Yeah.
Some more than others, but this strategy has worked almost 100% of the time.
Let's give an example. So yesterday we found a TV with a VHS player, and Marina was trying to get a better deal. So what we did was we went through the person's what they're selling.
Store, yeah.
We went through the person's store and we picked maybe 2 or 3 more items and say, "Hey, would you do this for this price?" And, you know, in most cases they would say yes.
Yeah, in most cases they'll say yes. So another thing to watch out for is if they're a reseller, they have a lot of ratings, they're probably a reseller, right?
Yeah.
So if they're a reseller, they're probably going to come back at you with a counter price, right? But if they're not a reseller, if they're just like someone trying to sell stuff from their house, you know, they'll most likely just say okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time. Okay, we do have a question, and King Arthur Curry, hello, good evening to you. He says, hey, my flipping sisters, how are you doing? How have you been? It's been a while. Okay, so Bill from 324 Fine says, do you haggle at estate sales as well, even with COVID restrictions?
The answer is yes. Always, especially at estate sales, always negotiate, because they want to get rid of items as fast as they can because they want the house empty pretty much. So even with COVID restrictions, you know, they make sure you wear a mask. So sometimes if you buy a lot of items, when you arrive to pick up the items, haggle and say, hey, would you do this for everything?
You've done that before?
No, not the online one, but an in-person one.
Oh, wait.
In-person one.
Oh, in person, yeah, of course. Always try, and not every estate sale company is going to like it. But like Bill said, you know, you got to try. If you are in the business of making a profit, you must try at every single opportunity you can.
Yeah.
You know? Like 80 to 90% of the time.
Actually, they're very flexible, the estate sale people, too, in terms of haggling. So
again, it depends on the company. Some people are not okay with that at all. So, and it also depends on the day of the estate sale. So, if you go on the last day when they want to get rid of items versus going on the first day when they've just opened, that also plays into account. Another thing, we are not going to estate sales in person right now with COVID. We went to one. They said they were going to follow the 6 feet apart rule, and they did not. So we decided, first of all, we got lucky that we didn't get sick from that one. And second of all, we said we will not be doing that again.
Yeah.
It's not worth It's not worth getting sick to us.
Yeah.
So thanks for that question. It's a great question, Bill.
So strategy number 2 is look at how long the item has been listed for. So Marina, you want to talk about, you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So look at how long the item has been listed for. Yes, that really. Our dog wants attention. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so a couple questions about estate sales. We do go to quite a few of them. 324 Fine says, how would you do it on an online estate sale? Okay. Online estate sale, yeah. That one's tricky. So a little bit of information on the online estate sales is the online estate sale phenomenon, which has been growing like crazy during COVID, has been faring the estate sale companies extremely, extremely well. So before the pandemic, we were used to going to estate sales every single weekend. It's one of our, garage and estate sales is basically, it was like, the bulk of our business, about 70 to 80% of our business. And we would never see a home completely liquidated from the items that were trying to be sold. When the estate sale companies went online, things were flying off the shelves like hotcakes, and it's still happening. I think it's just kind of, the business model of an online estate sale is very similar to an auction. So you have a lot of competition, and sometimes you're paying much more money than you would in real life at those things, and you cannot negotiate on those. You cannot. So recommendation on those online estate sales where it's first come first serve, they're auction like, is don't buy anything that you don't know the value of. Yeah. Definitely learn from it. Visit some, take notes, take time learning things you don't know are going to profit you.
Yeah, and Bill, there are two kinds. One is, literally it's like an auction like eBay. You go on there and you bid it on an item. There's another kind of online estate sale is live. So if you want to try it out, it's really fun. Basically, the person takes their phone and they walk around the house and they basically say, all right, here's a lot of vintage dolls and we're doing $25 for everything. So whoever is the first person to type in there that you want the dolls would get the item. So it's pretty fun.
You get a rush out of that. It's, oh my gosh, Michelle and I, we avoid those like crazy because we usually end up spending a few $100s doing those.
Yeah.
Definitely super fun. Exciting though. I know like 324 Finds and Girly Girl Salad just got a larger house.
I know, so you're going to get a lot of storage.
We're excited to see how you guys are going to be growing your business as well. Okay, so we were talking about strategy 2 on negotiation buying. And so it is looking at how long the item has been listed for. So let's say you have your eye on, we've been doing a lot of electronics. So let's say you want to sell a boombox, right? We recently sold a vintage boombox for, I think it was over $200, and we paid about $11.25 for it. But let's say you're searching for those. When you are looking, you can see the date when the item was posted on many of the items. If the item was posted, let's say 20, 30 minutes ago, it's going to be much harder to obviously negotiate because the item was just listed, right? But if you have an item sitting there for over a year, 6 months, then you definitely have a lot more wiggle room when it comes to negotiation because you know the item hasn't moved. Nobody's been buying it at that price.
It's like buying a house, right? When you buy a house, people always look at, how long has it been in the market, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's another strategy to look into. So yeah, so like if something's been sitting there longer, I usually offer a lower price than if it was just listed.
Okay, strategy number 3. Lowball. What does that mean, Marina?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to lowball. So there was a TV that I wanted to purchase today. It was very lovely. It was advertised for $85. There's no way we could pay $85 and it'd be worth it for us. So I offered $40, right? I'd be comfortable paying $40 for that TV.
It's 50%.
It's a little more than 50%. And I guess you can consider that a lowball. Like, I'm not going to offer $5.
Yeah.
Again, I want to maintain the integrity, but we've been buying a lot of televisions between $20 and $30. So to me, $40 seemed reasonable.
Yeah.
However, the seller was not happy with my offer. Okay. But for me, it was a surprise because definitely we are not lowballing to the point where we're making everyone angry at us by any means.
Yeah.
And most of the times, it's called offer up, right? That's one of the places where we source. And like, I love the name offer up because to me it says, you know, give me an offer. This is my price, but give me an offer. So anyway, so most people are not angry about it.
Yeah. I do think that if you have a high priced item, let's say it's listed for $400 and you offer $200, sometimes they might say yes because it's still a big amount. You know?
Yeah, and we have to say we've put items on OfferUp that we sell for really large, you know, price tags online, and we've sold it way below what we've sold it online. We sold one VHS VCR online on OfferUp for $50.
Yeah.
We sold the exact same one on Etsy for over $150.
Yeah.
So like, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not trying to be jerks or anything. We're just being, you got to kind of put on the hat of the marketplace that you're in.
Yeah.
We're not going to sell that same VHS DVD player on OfferUp for $150 that we could sell on Etsy for $150, and we're not even going to try.
Yeah.
Because that's going to, frankly, that's just a waste of our time.
Agree.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
So, the next strategy is offer 10 to 20% less for high quality items.
Wait, really fast. Bill from 324 Fine says, like sports prop betting. No idea what that is. Sorry.
Online
What is
estate
that?
sale. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
What is that? What's sports prop betting? That sounds cool, though. Something to do with sports, I imagine. And yes, let's see here. Perfect. Okay, let's continue. So the strategy Michelle just said is typically our strategy when prices are reasonable, but, you know, not super low. We will typically offer about 10 to 20% less for high quality items of what has been offered.
Or new items, right?
Typically a new item, new items are hard to find, and it's hard to find good price ones. If I find a good price new item where I'm going to profit over $100 on it, typically I do not negotiate. I just say, I would like to buy that, and I go pick it up right away. That's just my strategy.
Yeah.
For me, it's not worth losing, you know, that deal to add value to our inventory for $5 or $10. I am not that kind of a lowballer. And again, I like to keep the integrity of the buyer. I want them to benefit from the transaction as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Bill from 324 Fine says, live and learn. That's the point. But platform is the deciding factor. 100%. And he also said, look into it. Uber fun and hilarious.
We'll look into it, Bill. Thanks for sharing.
Sports props. Yes, we'll check it out.
Okay, next strategy. Demographics. Marina, let's elaborate on that. Demographics, what do you mean?
Yeah, this is super duper interesting. So we live in Southern California. We have access to, we're very fortunate because our marketplace is large. So we have access to so many counties. Something we have noticed, we have a couple years experience in our belts from doing this, is depending on the demographics of certain areas, the prices of the items will be lower or higher for the exact same item. Mm-hmm. So it's something to look into when you are buying and negotiating. And, you know, again, it's, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, sometimes because the demographic areas are more high end and the prices are too high, we don't even shop there. We can't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense for our business. So, and I've noticed those, you know, those items tend to stay on there longer, right? So
can you give an example?
Yeah, for sure. We actually sourced, not too long ago, a brand new Sony DVD VHS recorder. Mm-hmm. It was advertised for $175. And the seller would not budge.
Yeah.
So, and the demographic, speaking of demographic, it was in a very high-end area by the beach in Southern California. Michelle and I really had to do our homework and decide if we wanted to pay that amount or just forget the item. So, after much research, we decided it would still be worth it for us to pick up the item at $175.
Yeah.
Okay. On a similar note, today we're going to pick up a brand new item. In a not in a high end area. You know, most areas are just kind of like where we live, middle class. And this brand new item goes for $40.
Yeah.
We didn't negotiate on that. We're just going to fork it over. And it sells for easily over $100. So that's an example of that.
Good. That's a good example.
Watch out for demographics. And so last but not least, actually that's kind of it for our Negotiating Like a Boss live that we had planned for you guys tonight. But this really cool meme that we always end with, which is
this is from Pawn Stars.
Yeah, if you guys haven't watched that show, Pawn Stars, and it's really awesome. But this guy said, he came back to tell the customer at the counter shop of a pawn shop, after it got what do you call it? Yeah, so basically this is how the show works, right? You have customers come in and they say, hey, I have this item, what is it worth? So then the guy behind the counter goes and talks to the appraiser and say, hey, what is it worth? So this guy brings it back and says, okay, he said it's worth 10 grand. And then the guy's like, I can give you $20 for it.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny, but that's kind of how it works. Check out Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
Pawn Star Show.
I think we could relate to it because sometimes when we go sourcing, we look on comps on the phone. And then we're just like giving them a poker face and we're like, oh, we'll do like $10. Yeah.
Bill from 324 Fine says, holy Lord, $175 living large ladies. Yes, Bill, I know that was a tough decision we made. We do hope to recover the $175 and some. So,
it's, yeah.
324 Fines. Sorry?
It's a little bit like gambling, but it's more like what you invest is you get a bigger return, right?
We made the mistake of not feeding our dogs this evening before the live. So did not know Vegas Pawn Stars, Chum is in prison. What? For what? Bill, I swear, knows like a lot of information that we are oblivious to. So thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. We'll be back tomorrow. We promise tomorrow we will remember to feed our dogs so they're not barking in the background.
Sorry about that.
Karen from Six Creative Concepts said, thank you. I'm so glad I caught you tonight. I did two of your podcasts today. Thank you so much. Which ones did you do? You're great, best. Good night. Kiss the sweet dogs for me. Thank you so much, Karen. I'm glad to see you're doing well. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Bill from 324 Fine says, keep killing it, ladies. Love you. We love you too. And I guess this guy did real bad things. That's not.
I have to Google him.
Yeah, we're going to Google that. So, yes. And enjoy your first day of your new home tomorrow, Bill and Tori. And we will see you soon. Much love, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Friday night. Okay, he said may or not be.